And that, Mrs. Roberts, should give you a pretty good idea of the purposes and functions of a school crossing guard. Tomorrow morning, you'll get more instruction, but it'll be at the corner where you'll work. Can you meet me at 8 o'clock in the morning at your corner then? We'll watch the policeman you're replacing go through his paces. Of course, you won't have the authority or the added responsibilities of a regular police officer. By the way, Mrs. Roberts, here are 3 books that'll help you understand your job. Take them and study them. Get completely familiar with their contents. You'll find them very useful.
Thank you, Sergeant. I only hope I can remember everything you've told me. You've been very patient.
You're a good student, Mrs. Roberts. You and others like you will render a very fine service to the community. I'll see you in the morning.
Goodbye.
Good morning, Mrs. Roberts.
Good morning, Sergeant. How's this for good timing?
I'm glad to see you on time. That'll be a good habit when you become a crossing guard. Well, as I said yesterday, this is the school crossing where we sure can use your help. When you finish your training, the officer you see over there will be freed for regular police duty.
Isn't he a little early? I shouldn't think the children would be arriving for another half hour.
Well, Mrs. Roberts, school crossing duty starts before the children arrive. There are a few preparations that must be made. For example, right now he's checking traffic conditions. Are cars parked so they block the walk or cause dangerous blind spots for children or drivers? At times, it may even be necessary to have a car moved. It's part of the guard's job to spot any conditions that might cause crossing difficulties. An excavation for street repairs, for example, might require setting up a temporary crossing spot at another location nearby.
I see he's putting out some signs, too.
Yes, that's another reason for getting to your post early, so that signs planned for and made available are placed. These signs will be a great help to you in your job. It's important to know in advance the general pattern of traffic at your assigned location. Get an idea of the average speed of the cars, and note if they come in a steady stream or in groups, and what effect cars turning at the corner might have.
I suppose he's preparing to direct traffic.
I'm glad you raised that question. For a crossing guard, the answer is a definite no. Here, as in most communities, a school crossing guard does not direct traffic in the usual sense. Now, let me explain. The basic reason for use of school crossing guards is to give children the benefit of adult judgment in getting safely across a street. But experience has also shown that the mere presence of a crossing guard is usually enough of a warning to motorists to be alert. Oh, now I see some children are beginning to gather at the corner. Let's watch. You'll notice that while waiting for an opportunity to cross, he keeps the children grouped on the sidewalk, safely away from traffic. And he knows he must keep order. He's made it a point to be friendly with the kids, and they all like it. See how the officer is giving the older children a responsibility? The school teachers suggested this technique. He has their respect, too, and they obey his directions. Here's a gap in traffic. Now watch. By holding up his hand, he makes sure he is seen by oncoming traffic. Notice the position he's taken. He can see cars, and drivers can see him. And he's also in a position to hold back stragglers or latecomers if necessary. Selecting a gap for a crossing reduces surprise to drivers that might cause a collision. Just remember that your signal merely alerts drivers that children are about to use the crosswalk. Supervision by the guard extends the safety training the child receives at home and in the school. Now, as you can also see, it's often necessary to halt children on the sidewalk to permit traffic to move. Traffic should not be allowed to move until it's safe to do so, but neither should traffic be held for a few children who are lagging behind. At this point, of course, the guard starts grouping a new gathering of children in preparation for the next crossing.
So far, it doesn't seem too difficult. It's mostly using good judgment and being aware of traffic conditions.
Well, that's basically the idea. Of course, you'll get more training before you're really qualified. Your confidence will increase as you understand such things as reaction time of drivers.
There's more to this than I realized. It really is quite a responsibility.
It sure is. You help build safety habits in the children and motorists. Also, you'll relieve an officer for other police assignments and be performing a community service. And who can measure the value of a service that prevents accidents and saves lives, particularly those of our children?